Hey everybody, it's a beautiful day again. I think it's like 80 degrees and really sunny outside. So, who's ready for another adventure? I am. Today, we're heading to good old Russellville. Well, technically Dardanelle, because we're gonna go visit Mount Nebo. Let's go. Alright, so technically there are two different ways you can go. You can go the old Highway 64 all the way up. It takes about an hour and 20 minutes to get there via the two-lane highway. Or you could just get on I-40 and go straight there. It's up to you. I think we're going to do the I-40 route because it takes a little bit to get there. Alright, while I have you out here at this red light, this over here to the right is a very special place in my heart. This is where I graduated college. Arkansas Tech University, home of the Wonder Boys and the Golden Suns. Hashtag fight on! Alright, let's continue. Anybody ever seen Final Destination? Yeah. Guess what I'm not getting behind. Sorry, bud. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one thing. Before you guys come up the mountain, you might want to make sure your car, one, doesn't overheat easily, and two, can handle steep hills. Because the ride up here is pretty brutal. So. Alright, we made it to our first overlook on top of the mountain. This is called the Bench Overlook, and you get a pretty good view. Alright, so that was our first stop on this wonderful journey up here on top of Mount Nebo. We are not at the top of the mountain yet. We've still got to go up around another curve and another curve, and the top of it is, let's see if I can get this to it. Well, it's up there. Alright, so we have arrived at the Mount Nebo Visitor Center, and there's a lot to see. Hi, how are you? Right, so back on the journey. I stopped and talked to some people, because me. But we're going to do the rim trail from the visitor center, which is right here behind me. You can see it. And we're going to go to Sunset Point. Now the rim trail goes all around the top of the mountain. You can go from Sunset Point to Sunrise Point to the visitor center to several other places. It goes about 3 miles on top of this mountain. But we're just going to go from the visitor center to Sunset Point. A little bit of a trivia question for you guys. If you guys can guess why it's called Sunset Point, I'll give you a thumbs up. I also think I failed to mention the one thing I always do on these hikes. I keep my eye open for snakes. Because one, they're so much fun to play with. And two, I just like finding them. Alright, so we made it to Sunset Point. And if you guys haven't figured it out yet, it's called Sunset Point because you can watch the sunset from it. Who knew? Who knew? Alright, so one of the best parts of Sunset Point is not only the view at night, right before the sun goes down, but the Arkansas Tech University band has what's called Brass in the Clouds. And they come up and they sit up on the rocks, and then they play music as the sun goes down. One, you get the beautiful music combined with the beautiful view. It turns into one of the best things ever to experience here in the Arkansas River Valley and in the area. Alright, so from Sunset Point, you get a beautiful view of Lake Dardanelle and part of the Arkansas River. And you keep turning left, and you get these beautiful mountains right here. But also, just like Pinnacle, you can see another mountain from this spot. Way off in the distance, right there behind the mountain, it's a little hazy. That is the highest point in Arkansas. That is Mount Magazine. We'll go there one day, just not today. Alright, so we're not going back on the trail. I kind of took a tedious approach and used the road to get back to the visitor center. But I want to bring up, if hiking is not your style, then it's a really easy to get to the top. You just drive. It's a drive up the mountain. That's a pain in the butt on your car. But if hiking's not your style, if you just want to come up here and enjoy the views, everywhere's accessible by car. Like Sunset Point, Sunrise Point, the visitor center overlook. It's all accessible by car. It's great. Excuse me. But you can also come up here and hike. There are several places to rent. Cabins, houses. You can come up here and rent them for the night, for the week. The weekend, just get away. It's a beautiful place. Okay, so one thing I did fail to mention, one of the most beautiful sights you get up here is Arkansas Nuclear 1. And for those of you who don't know, it is Arkansas's only nuclear reactor, right on the banks of the Arkansas River in Dardanelle, or Lake Dardanelle. It's right there. It's a beautiful, beautiful sight. Alright, so we're back in the car now, and we're going to do a hop, skip, and a jump across the mountain. Technically, a drive across the mountain. We're going to go to Sunrise Point. And just like Sunset Point, if you can guess why it's called Sunrise, you probably were an A+ student. Alright, so we made it to Sunrise Point, and in my opinion, it is one of the best places to watch the sunrise in the state of Arkansas. So one of the coolest points about Sunrise Point is that people actually come up here to hang glide off this point. It attracts a lot of hang gliders in Arkansas. Alright, and so there you have it, Mount Nebo State Park. It's extremely easy for anybody in the state to access because it's just a drive to the top. And it's a drive from Sunset Point to Sunrise Point. And on top of that, you get some of the best views of the Arkansas River Valley, Lake Dardanelle, and the Arkansas River. Until next time, keep exploring the state. I'll see y'all later.